What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I just got back home from shipping a couple more all-wheel drive brackets. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to everybody else last week who has purchased a bracket from me. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to be using the money to pay for a track event hopefully here soon to get this thing on the road course so we can have some fun with this car finally. I do have to get this car to alignment rack, but we'll do that another day. Now I've been sitting right here on my chair trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to do today. I am going to do something today. I'm so indecisive of what I want to do today. Now if you guys haven't seen the last video we yanked out Leo's swap. The engine was kind of hurt. We found out that cylinder 4 has a burnt valve, so it has a hole in the valve which caused it to sound like a lawnmower. And the block sleeve between 3 and 2 was warped. Like, we straight edged it and tooth owl went through it, and that's not good. We did have some leaks into his cooling system, so we ended up just swapping one of my B16 engines into his car to get his car up and going, because it is his only car and he travels far to get to work and back home. So I was going to go to the storage to bring all of that stuff and stick it in there until we figure out what we're going to do with that, whether he's going to core it, sell it, or junk it. But kind of just want to move it out of the garage because I wanted to go to the storage as well to go and grab one of my other engines that I have to assemble and get ready for a later swap. And then the other plan was to just kind of get down with the giveaway car. So the giveaway car has been neglected for quite some time, up until we got the turbo manifold. Now that we have the turbo manifold, I did go to my buddy Kel's house to go pick up some material to make a downpipe. Not a full downpipe, but a downpipe just to go underneath the pan, because we still need a transfer case on here to know where the downpipe is going to clock to clear. And also I don't have a flex pipe. So the other plan today was to make a downpipe, or half a downpipe. Oh, and my aunt's boyfriend just pulled up in a Mazda truck. That is sick. So I decided to work on the giveaway car, as you guys can see. I procrastinated up until the time the storage place closed for me to bring the stuff over to the storage unit. So that leaves me with plan B, which is do the downpipe. So a lot of you guys have always asked me, what eBay turbo am I running? Literally, guys, I'm gonna put the camera right here, take a good look at this turbo. Go on eBay, type in GTX 3582R. Look for the turbo that looks like this one. Now there are going to be different choices of back housings, like 63 ARs or 82 in this case. There's like 106, there's V-bands, there's 4 bolts. That choice is completely up to you, but I am running the 82 back housing with the 4 bolts because it is hard to find the 82 with the V-band. So I opt for this one, which I've ran the 4 bolt before, but normally what I do with this is I buy a cheap V-band clamp set from eBay as well too, and then I just lob it off the 4 bolt flange and just weld the V-band on there. In this case, I have a high quality V-band that I'm going to be converting this 4 bolt into, and the reason for that is because, let me show you guys again here real quick. With this back housing on here, we have plenty of space, but that means I would have to do a ton of pie cut, and it has to be precise to the 4 bolt position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off, put a V-band on it. That'll give me about almost an inch more clearance, and it'll be easier to put on and off because the V-band clamp is interlock. I'll show you guys that when we get to it, but the V-band is easy to put on because all you got to do is interlock it, V-band on, 111 mil, and the downpipe should be secured. So I do have another back housing that I did swap to V-band a while ago. This was actually the first one I did for my cousin's car, and this worked out perfectly fine. But this is a 63 AR. It's smaller than this one, and I want to keep it 83, so I am going to just use this brand new one. Also have a brand new back housing to weld onto instead of trying to clean it all up. Or actually no, this is already welded, but it avoids me having to deal with dirty material. So that's off to the side. We're going to be cutting this sucker up right now and get the V-band all mocked up on here. This is the V-band kit that I got from the homie Kelly Built. Shout out to Kel for having all the stuff that I need always in stock. So we got a 93-inch pipe from him. I actually have another one over there that I bought a while ago. We got some straight cutoffs. We have a bunch of pies to make a full 90. These pies are used to aim the pipe where I need it to go, especially in the tight engine bay in the giveaway car. A swap, turbo, and an EF engine bay. You guys kind of know how it goes, or maybe you guys don't, but we don't have that much room. So this new V-band is a lot slimmer than the other ones that I've always used. You can see right here, this is like 3/4, and then this is like 1 full inch, right? So this is a lot slimmer, so it gives me a lot more room. The flanges itself is interlocked, so you can see one side is a male, the other side is a female. Once you put them on, there's no way to misalign it. And then also the clamp itself is an 11 mil instead of a 12, 13, 14 that all the other brands are. So this is a lot more convenient, nice and slim. And this is also the same flange. I believe it's the same size flange, same style flange on Garrett turbos that are V-band. So if you buy this kit, you'll know that it'll fit a Garrett setup. Now I don't know about the other brands turbos and stuff, but I was told that this right here is the perfect fit to a Garrett turbo. So what I got to do right now is I got to figure out where I'm going to cut this. I got to account that this has a lip on it, right? And how far back do I cut it? Also got to make sure I have room to weld it, like to put my torch in there and stuff. So by the looks of the other turbo, I cut this thing almost flush to the housing body. So I might do the same. I don't care if it overlays or underlays, as long as we can get it nice and flat all around, we can TIG weld it shut. Kel was just texting me right now to let me know which side of the flange goes to the turbo, and he just told me that the female end, which is the one that doesn't have the lip sticking out of it, right, is the one he recommends to put to the turbo. So that's what we're going to use to put onto the turbo side. All right guys, so I just got the V-band welded on to the exhaust housing. Everything turned out freaking awesome. Got some awesome coverage. It just got a little weird right there in that corner. You can see the little booger because it was kind of hard to put a torch in between this right here, but nonetheless this is all secured, ready to rock and roll. So we're not going to throw a turbine back on here. We're just going to use the exhaust housing on the manifold itself. And we're just going to screw it down with 2 bolts, and this is the side we're going to be working with. So it looks like we have definitely a lot more room to put a bend down here. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything secured, clock this flange a little bit so it doesn't scratch up the manifold, and then we'll come up with a solution for our downpipe. So I got my light up here. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but what's nice about having pie cuts is that this allows you to point and aim the piping where you need it to go for each pie that you put on because of the slant cut. So I think these are cut 7.5 degrees as far as I can remember, and every time I will clock it, it will change the position of the next pipe and where it goes. So I've been tinkering with this, trying to figure out what combination I need to get the 90 to go where I needed to go in between the block, the manifold, traction bar, and the radiator itself. So it looks like I'm gonna need 4 of these pies, and again, Kel marked this right here to make all these pies for me, so I'm using these lines as reference. I'm gonna use 4 of these pie cuts. I got 2 on the floor, 1 right here, 1 right there already inside the flange. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up the pie cut using these reference mark, and I'm gonna space them about 1/2 inch above each other, because again I mocked it up earlier, and it kind of points the pipe where it needed to go, the way I placed them. So I'm gonna sit you guys somewhere real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and use this I forgot what this is called, PTP. I'll put it on the screen. This tape is used to tape like these pipes or steel or metal pieces that you're going to be welding together, and you can weld with the tape on it, and you won't leave any residuals or residue or sticky residue or adhesive from the tape on the material. Instead, it'll just shrink up, and once it's all nice and dry, you can just peel it off without having to clean the pipe again. So this is, I'm gonna cut this into a bunch of sections to use to tape up the 4 pies. Now I am trying to have this downpipe tuck up really nice so we have more space in the front, especially because we don't know where our dump tube is gonna go just yet. So I don't know if you guys can see it down there. We have space between the fan and the radiator. I will be wrapping this downpipe as well, so I'm not worried about it like making the radiator super hot, especially because the radiator is super thick itself. But I am going to clock the pies a little bit more to kind of kick this pipe in a little bit more and away from the radiator. It's not touching the runner, it's not touching the block. You can't see it because my giant hand's in the way.
Whoever wants to see carnage, give me the, could you give me the heartbreak emoji.
All right guys, so it is the next day. Last night, super unexpected, my brother and his co-workers and stuff came here and hung out the rest of the night, and it got loud, so I didn't want to record in between all of that. I met some of the dudes that watches the channel and things like that. It was pretty cool, just chilling the rest of the night. And I did weld some I guess I welded some of the pies last night. Can't really tell right here, but I welded the whole top pie section all the way around except the V-band itself, and I welded halfway on the bottom here and not down there. Down here is because I'm still adjusting where it goes under the oil pan, and then we'll get to it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I just want to get this done and out of the way. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the dump tube because I don't have any tubing for size 44 mil. Only got tubings for 38. Thank you, Robert, for that actually. But yeah, I want to go ahead and just mark this back up. I do have the pieces that I'm going to use to go underneath the pan, but I need to shorten it. So let's get to that. All right guys, so I just finished welding the V-band flange to the first pie all the way around, looking good, super hot still. And Leo just left. He just got off of work. He came by here real quick to chop it up, and he just went home. He's enjoying the B16 swap, And the car's super quiet. He pulled up. I didn't even know he pulled up. But if you guys haven't seen the last video we swapped Leo's car with a B16A that I had here in the garage to replace his Hertz LS motor. And he said the VTEC is popping, and yeah, he said it feels good. So that's good to know that the ECU is working. My ECU is back over there. Like I mentioned, I don't have the rest of the tubing or a flex pipe to finish the rest of the downpipe. I don't have a flange back here either, and I think that also depends on, I guess, if I'm running exhaust on this car or not. But I also can't finish the rest of the downpipe until we get a transfer case to know where we need to clock this bend right here after the oil pan. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it back on the car so that this V-band could cool down and not warp, and clamp together to the other V-band to the housing, so that way it stays nice and true. So I'm just going to go ahead and button this up, guys, and we'll wrap up this video. I just reminded myself that I forgot the O2 bung. Gotta go pick some up from Kel so we can put a bung on here to run the O2 sensor. Before we wrap up this video, guys, I want to show you underneath the car. Sorry for the poor lighting, because this side, actually I lied, I do have a lamp right there. It's just not plugged up, 3-prong to 2-prong. So I'm using my flashlight, but I do have a 3-inch intercooler piping right here. I mocked this up earlier to get a general idea of where this is going to be pointing to, and it looks like it'll clear the pan. Now mind you guys, this coupler is overlaying the pipe, right? So it's touching the oil pan, but if it was pipe to pipe, it shouldn't touch at all. So if you look, it is kind of cocked towards the driver's side a little bit, and if I put another pie right here, it should cut it in. I don't have to necessarily put it right here. I can put it back here, but again, I don't want to do this back piece until we get the transfer case put on to know how far it sticks out, to know where the exhaust downpipe is going to point towards the rear of the car. So this seems to be Gucci taters. Not too worried about it. I am going to wrap up the video right here. We are definitely making progress towards the giveaway CRX. Downpipe is almost done. That means if we get this thing closer to turn on, we have enough of the downpipe to turn it on. Aside from that, we're going to get some materials for the flex. We're going to get some materials for O2. We got to get some materials for the dump tube. I got to plumb the oil line, return, and technically we can fire this over. I have the ECU here. I got to go get a new battery because I don't have another battery, and then we can start working more in the engine bay as far as like buttoning it up goes. We don't have the fill neck. We still got to figure out with that, and obviously the rest of the turbo kit. So again, guys, don't mean to jibber jabber on too long. Sorry, Taylor Ray, that's your guys, that's your saying. My apologies, but that is going to be the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed today's progress, be sure to leave a thumbs up. We're definitely going to be jumping on this car a little bit more here. Obviously, we got a clear driveway. There's no car here to work on other than that car. So if you guys want to stick around and see some more progress update of the giveaway CRX, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.